The dearth of culture is an unfeelable abyss in the soul of a people's collective awareness of its place of inception. The elevated heights wherein the founding fathers labored, that posterity may walk boastfully across the surface of the universe, priding themselves of a great civilization carried on with pride, and that we may distinguish ourselves of our inherent talent, so others may look at us with benign admiration and copy, essentially, the gifts thrust on us by the Creator.
The arts have moved out of the ghetto. Here, for many years, especially beginning from the 60s, I'm talking now about post-independence, the arts became so well regarded as a kind of feature of production, society production, which could come up from time to time to be aired, very special circumstances. Then it was like those who said they believed in the arts, especially the political class, it was like they would take, it's like a doctor's prescription, that you take 2 pills of art, you know, every morning before breakfast, and maybe 1 after dinner, maybe 1 more before bed, to show that you were cultured, you were enlightened, and that you appreciated the finer things of existence.
At the same time, the government hasn't made significant contributions in terms of promoting the arts program. When you combine those 2 things, you could almost conclude that there is a pre-existing ideology that hinders against the development of the arts in a country like Nigeria.
Through the lens of a cross-generational perception, surveying our country Nigeria, not only as a synecdoche for Africa, but also as its own distinct representation of our people's art and cultural inclination, the pre-cum post-colonial rise of artists, each within his and her own right preserving, protecting, and exporting our culture as Africans.
Well, we had the foreign missions driving the culture sector on the island. This I must emphasize, because the island was more like the melting pot and point where everyone interested in the arts, especially the expatriate community and the upper class, want to enjoy some artistic appreciation.
From the plays of J.P. Clark to the reflective literature of Wole Soyinka and Deola Sagoe, and the visual arts of Akinola Lashikon, Justus Akeredolu, Ben Enwowo, and the most transcendental figure of the Zarianist movement, Aina Onobolu, who single-handedly fought to put art in the school curriculum in 1927, brings to mind the contemporary strides by fearless women, the leading figure in the renaissance of the rich artistic and cultural landscape in Nigeria, Bolanle Austin Peters, a trained lawyer who, through intrinsic interest founded in 2004, our center point of focus today, Terra Culture.
To be quite honest, I'm not sure I was that inspired. I did it because I hated practice. I didn't want to practice law anymore. The kind of law that I did in the past was all international law, refugee law, development law. So it wasn't really relevant in Nigeria. So when I got back, I tried to practice. I did not enjoy it. So I decided to do something of my own. And I sort of like searched inwards and asked myself, what am I good at? I love arts, I love literature, I love history. Those were the things that I excelled at when I was in school. And so I put a proposal together based on that, and the fact that also being abroad, my kids and their friends were all not speaking Nigerian languages anymore, most of them. We all spoke to them in English. So I figured we needed to do something about it. So I decided to found an organization that is centered around identity, who you are as a person, and that is what informed this space.
Mrs. Austin Peters walked into my office at the National Theatre and told me of the idea of setting up the Terra Culture, which was a wonderful idea. One, because Lagos is such a big place and most of the cinema houses were closing up. It was a bit shaky at first, One, because we were a bit suspicious, we wanted to know what Terra Kulture was all about. What was it going to do? How much of our clientele is it going to take? And all of a sudden, we found out on its own. Terra Kulture started to define its own name, its own place within the entertainment world, and people started to respect it.
Terra Kulture emerged in 2004 as a privately funded cultural, educational, and recreational center that promotes the richness and diversity of Nigerian languages, arts, and culture with its eclectic mixture of theater arts, visual arts, food, and its pedigreed tutelage of young people as well as adults in various Nigerian languages.
I think it's fair to say that the arts have become part of the mainstream of Nigerian life. And Terra Kulture is a product, a participant in the process of, shall we say, acclimatizing art to the mundane rhythms of existence.
Terra Kulture, I would say, was one of those successful Nigerian interpretation of what proper presentation of our arts and culture should be in the context of looking at all the other foreign missions that were in existence before now.
It was the banks who might commission a work of art from an artist, maybe as a mural on the wall, or as a plaque, just to show that we don't just make money, we also support the fine arts. It was like more a statement than a fact, a part and parcel of life. Now look at the contrast. Look at the contrast. To have a sort of vital, the vital presence of art as a matter of life, as a matter of just, as I said, mundane existence. This has been a development over the past 30 years, I think. And Terra Kulture is a prominent symbol of that evolution.
For many years in Lagos in particular, there was a gap in a place where cultural activities and cultural pursuits were concentrated. I think for those of us who are art lovers, we used to go to the occasional play, maybe at the J.K. Randall Memorial Hall, occasionally at Muson, visual arts, the odd gallery here and there. But I think Terra Kulture has brought all this together. Terra Kulture is, in my view, a melting pot for people of all ages.
Well, I think Terra Kulture has brought in a very defined place where you can come and experience art and culture in all disciplines. So it's been a very good melting pot where one can come and learn and understand a bit more about Nigerian arts and culture and explore all it has to give.
Terra Kulture has provided a reference point for several generations of Nigerians and members of the international community who come to drink from the well of our rich and diverse culture and heritage.
There were people and institutions and places where good things were being done, Maidrin, Signature, Nike, in the visual arts. Some people were doing some things in theater arts. There were plenty of people writing. So there were things. But there was not no single place like Terra Kulture, putting together all these things into a place where you could come and you could get a little bit of everything.
The model with which Terra Kulture was set up on is a functional and self-sustaining model, a model that allows Terra Kulture to be able to do so many different things, be able to generate its own revenue, especially when you consider the fact that in Nigeria today, there's little or no support for the arts and the cultural sector. And a lot of centers have gone into extinction or gone out of business after a couple of years because they couldn't sustain the business.
Within the realm of theatre, Terra Kulture has organized in its 10 years of flourishing transformation over 90 plays, including productions from leading minds such as Sefi Atta, Segun Adefila, Ferdinand Adimefe, and Joke Silva, to name a few, consequently creating over 150 ancillary jobs monthly through its theatre arts initiative.
What Terra Kulture was able to do was, at a token fee, allow young producers, new producers, to express their talent. Not only producers, but actors as well. And what that did was that with the consistency with which that was done, we then were able to build an audience. And because we could build an audience, the effort to make theatre vibrant again got a new impetus. It was like an intervention into that struggle to revive theatre.
When we wanted to start our show, which was also another manifestation of the arts and theatre and culture and all those kind of things, we came here and we found a home here as well. So in other words, to put a point on it, Terra Kulture is that which you say it is, in promotion of the arts and culture of Nigeria, but not only in promotion, in the encouragement thereof.
We started Theatre Terra, a project that I founded about 6 years ago, with 2 or 3 directors then. Now we have well over 24 directors and producers annually who vie for the space to use the space for their own productions. And so every Sunday of the year you can and will find a play showing at Terra Kulture.
In association with Bolanle Austin Peters Productions, Terra Kulture raised the bar in the theatre industry with the production of Saro the Musical in 2013, a production which enjoyed numerous accolades and reviews from international media houses, including the BBC and Sky News UK. It has since produced 5 additional plays, despite the lack of infrastructure to support such.
And I think one of the most outstanding thing for me was coming here to see Saro, which was a major program.
I knew when she was working on this, and she put a lot into it. And when I saw the show, I couldn't believe that Nigeria, something like this was coming out of Nigeria. I hadn't seen anything like it. The costumes, the music, and it was really fantastic.
What we tried to do was to study what we had on offer, and we recognized that there was a gap for big budget, big musicals, massive entertainment, so to speak. So our focus was to fill that gap and bring in musicals on an annual basis that would sort of like be completely entertaining, just a lot of va-va-va-voom.
We sat down, we said this must be done, and after which the first day when it got premiered, I think we had it at Oriental Hotel. It was scary, but after the first day, the whole pressure came down, and we finally found out that yes, we've done something amazing, something wonderful, and something that has come to stay. And over time, magazines, TV stations, all sorts.
And having the international press obviously support or celebrate us was a welcome development. Like I said, it just more or less puts us out there, and I think that's really what needs to happen for the youths and also for the industry.
Aside from this remarkable feat, Terra Kulture has also allayed the hitherto ageless and ineffable pains of several visual artists who, prior to its founding, struggled with the financial viability of the path they chose by creating a platform from which their works of visual art can generate consistent and decent income with Terra Culture's periodically organized art exhibitions and auctions, 200 of which have been today a great success, a huge encouragement for both budding and established artists alike.
By the time Terra Culture came in, the art of Nigeria as practiced in Lagos has fairly stabilized. But with the appearance of Terra Culture, it became more stabilized and more developed.
Terra Culture as an organization has come in as the first, in my view, the first infrastructure for the industry, propelling the practice of visual arts.
Terra Culture's visual arts exhibition schedule is always fully booked from the beginning of January right up until December. So they're playing a very important role in terms of where visual artists can exhibit their works.
We've done so many exhibitions for so many artists. I have exhibited there a couple of times, you know. The reception, the promotion, the way they talk about the artist, the way they want to project you as an artist, it's, I mean, it's good, it's welcoming. And, you know, for the auction too, they're already in the auction, they are doing the Nigerian Terra Culture auctions. I mean, it's a platform for the artists, which is very, very interesting.
Started doing art auctions very fortuitously because it was Taya Demirioku that had asked us to sell off some works that somebody had deposited as collateral for monies that were borrowed. And we were able to conduct our first art auction successfully about 5-6 years ago now. So after that, we formed a partnership with My Dream Art Gallery, Mrs. Simi Adesoye, and we're going strong, and we're one of 2 or 3 auction houses in Nigeria today.
Every year we started the collaboration at the Lagos Art Auction about 5 years ago, and it gets better and better every year. New ideas, taking it to another level.
A most pertinent point of celebratory acclaim is its drive to bring back a reading culture that is arguably within our immediate enclave on the brink of extinction.
Every month, once a month, we have a book reading, and we bring in authors of new books. They do a live book read. It's pretty interesting actually. It's very cerebral. It's not, you know, you really have to be interested in something like that. We've had various authors, Tony Khan, Chinamanda, you know, they come. And a lot of followers come, we read the book, we ask questions, and they do a book signing. You know, so for me, it's kind of heartwarming to know that people are reading and that there is that kind of cerebral thing going on in Nigeria.
Its promotion of the literary arts cannot be left unsaid. With over 60 book readings and an expanse of a bookshop that boasts of the literary works of revered writers such as Ben Okri, Ayo Shogunro, Chinua Achebe, Ngozi Wathiongo, Chimamanda Adichie, and many more.
As a matter of fact, I think I have some pictures that show the number of books we had when we started. Today we have to constantly decongest the bookstore because there are more and more Nigerians writing, and I think the success of writers such as Chinamanda and a host of other writers is giving a new followership to book writing and book reading.
Terra Culture has been able to transform some of the pitfalls of a post-imperialist generation, wherein the absence of our personal culture paves way for the adoption of others. Hence, some of our children's inability to speak their ethnic languages.
When you look at that the world is becoming a global village, and our culture is daily being eroded by the advent of cable TV and foreign media, that we need to have a deep anchor of our own values, and Terra Culture has provided that.
It has really deepened the cultural awareness, and more importantly, they've done well promoting Nigerian languages. They have taught students and even adults, foreigners, on how to speak and write various Nigerian languages. That is actually kudos to Terra Kulture.
Since 2004, over 10,000 adults and children have attended the language classes, the basket weaving curriculum, adire making, and excursions offered at Terra Kulture.
I have found the language offerings in Terra Kulture very beneficial. My children have been here, they've learned, they've taken language lessons here, they've taken cookery lessons here, they've also learned how to make adire in Terra Kulture as well. So indeed, in those areas of the arts, we find that our children are able to benefit all the way right across the spectrum.
We had also a lot of other cultural centers in Lagos promoting the cultures of foreign countries. We had them here, and a lot of people went there to study these foreign languages there. And there was really no space, no center promoting our own culture, our own language, our own heritage.
Maybe just giving an opportunity or an environment for culture and creativity to thrive. I think that's one of the biggest impacts of, Terra Kulture. And not just for adults, I would say even for the kids. I mean, my kids have been here, they've taken art classes, and giving an opportunity for people to understand our culture, our roots, which I think, to a large extent we're losing in the country.
As a recreation center wherein art enthusiasts, expatriates, intellectuals, and generally people from all spaces of reality gather to each person's interest, Terra Kulture is renowned for its exquisite cuisine, with its blend of local and international cuisine to serve the palate of all aesthetes within the delectable realm of food.
When you look at your father rice, its presentation, when you go there, I think there was a time they had akara and pap or something like that. These are our food. These are our kind of our own menu that is being presented with to international standard.
One day I came here and I saw Japanese and Chinese eating amala like they were born to it, right? Which seemed to me a return compliment, the way we Nigerians eat Chinese food. And lunchtime, international diplomats, everybody.
There weren't many spaces that were designated restaurants, I mean, we had the Bukas, but we were one of the first few who did Nigerian food upscale, upscale-ish. So it's become very popular. A lot of people come to visit the space for the food. It attracts locals, everybody comes, and we can't overemphasize the importance and the beautiful food that we have in Nigeria.
The respective parts that form the configuration upon which Terra Kulture stands tall are undoubtedly personified by the matriarchal Bolanle Austin Peters, a culturally inclined Amazon that delves beyond the perfunctory practices of the faltered, a woman to whom many attribute the success of Terra Kulture.
When I look at Terra's journey over the last 10 years, its challenges and the manner in which it has overcome those challenges, and the proud place it takes up in the cultural scene in Nigeria and increasingly in an international setting, I can't but applaud the visionary nature of the founder of the business.
I think the programming of the Terra Kulture itself has become very boisterous. It's become very diverse. And I think in the next 10 years, definitely that this will still be one of the most important arts and education facilities we have in Nigeria and probably West Africa.
What Bolanle has done is to provide a vehicle in which we can appreciate our culture in a refined setting. Bolanle, kudos to you. I doff my imaginary hat.
Austin Peters is very friendly, very accommodating. She knows virtually all the artists. If she's not good, the relationship nobody will go close to her. She's open and humble. Yeah.
I think institutions, and not only cultural institutions, endure and remain there and are relevant because of people. Not because of location, the location may help, not because of money, not because of other external factors. At the end of the day, the success of an institution depends on the quality of the people who initiate it, who run it.
The friendliness of the staff and the management, the accessibility. It's open all day, every day, even on the weekends and holidays. I think that definitely helps people feel very welcome here to come and explore any aspect that they would like to learn more about.
Some of us who share her passion, we are always willing to be part of her goals and contribute the little we can to ensure that this country can make some difference in terms of all of us playing our roles in developing and propagating our collective value as a people and give ourselves some identity in the global map.
It is in light of this that we celebrate the 10th anniversary of this culturally conscious organization that sets outright examples of an exhibition of astuteness focused towards cultural infrastructure and longevity.
When I say solid, then people can't say begin to run Bosa for this 10th anniversary. Let us go. Bosa! Bosa! Bosa!
Again, as a resonation of the hearts of Nigerians, a warm and happy 10th anniversary Terra Culture. We sincerely thank you from the depths of gratitude.
Happy 10th anniversary, Terra Culture.
Happy anniversary to Terra Culture. Wishing you many, many more to come.
Happy 10th anniversary, Terra Culture. Well done, BAP.
Congratulations, Mrs. Austin Peters. It's been a wonderful journey so far, and we're going to do another 10 years.
As Shugubas will say, Igbodun Odukan, many applicants.
This is just the beginning, so we have many, many wonderful years to come.